Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco, Dish Out on Movies, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. It's just Marco here once again for probably another short review because, I don't know, I just feel like documentaries, they don't really warrant that much discussion. You know, like, I don't know, there's just something about them where, like, oh, well, I might as well be reviewing like YouTube videos or news videos that I see or YouTube documentaries, and I just feel like I don't know, like they don't really bring out that much to talk about. Cuz I talked earlier, I think last month, about what was that movie called? Will and Harper, the cringeworthy South Park skit where Will Ferrell had to go across the country with his trans friend and basically like cry and do all this BS for like 2 hours. And like that documentary was bad, but it was really entertaining and funny because of how bad it was. I actually watched it twice. This documentary, however, I can confidently say I will not watch again. It is the Daily Wire's Am I Racist documentary. And I was going to watch the What is a Woman documentary too when it first came out, but then it just kind of went by and I didn't watch it, and I was like, who cares? So this documentary, it was a really confusing experience for me because obviously I'm very much independent politically, and I am not in agreement with the new age like DEI bullshit that's going on. However, this documentary was really, really weird. I mean, it starts off and Matt Walsh is like the main character. I guess he's a character or he's the narrator. But it's weird because he's playing like a character. Like he's like a main character in like a movie. And a lot of the stuff that happens in this quote unquote documentary, they just feel like weird comedy scenes that could be in like a really bad comedy. Like there's this, probably the most cringeworthy part of the whole documentary is when he's in a cafe. And there's this black waitress, and she says, "How do you like your coffee?" And he hesitates to say black, and then he feels guilty about it, and that's supposed to be like a big joke. And I thought that was like, there were so many moments like that in this movie. There was another part where he reenacted the Jussie Smollett fake attack, the fake hate crime that he pretended like happened, or he orchestrated it as well. I don't know why he did that though. I mean, it's already bad enough that Jussie Smollett did what he did, but why did Matt Walsh have to recreate that hate crime? Like, again, that's what the whole movie felt like. It was just like one skit after another. It didn't really feel like there was very much relevant information about the whole subject of, like, if you were really, really interested in, like, the subject of how this bullshit, inflammatory, DEI, racist shit has, completely invaded our culture, and these people who say all white people are evil and America's horrible and all that stuff. If you were really interested in those topics, then you're not really going to get very much out of this documentary because it doesn't give any information. It just to me, like, it was more so focused on people profiting off of this stupid, fake racism bullshit. Like, there are these two women and they do this, I don't know what it's called, like, it's like a dinner for white women or something where women have dinner with these two people and they basically tell them they're bad people because they're white. Totally, totally racist and stupid. But, like, that was like a big focus of the documentary, was like every single time Matt Walsh would talk to someone, we would see the amount of money that he paid to talk to them. But the documentary wasn't about that. It wasn't about like, oh, what's really bad nowadays is how they're profiting off of this fake racism, and they're profiting off of like, oh, look at me, I'm a DEI expert and I can teach you how to decenter your whiteness and stuff like that. This documentary, it was really just confusing to me. It wasn't very funny. I think that the best part was the opening bit where he was in this group and in this little seminar thing led by this black woman. But also, too, he didn't really come off as very intelligent in this documentary. He constantly interrupted people. He played this character, and I don't know what this character is. Like, he put on this really bad fake wig, and it's really cringeworthy because he thinks that he can act, and he really can't act at all. I mean, like, his acting is really, really probably some of the worst that I've seen all year. I would say that I really got sick of this documentary too. Like, I saw that there was 30 minutes left and I was like, oh God, 30 more minutes of this trash. And so this is yet another project by the Daily Wire that just continues to be mediocre, bad, and it just shows that, like, they don't know how to make art, conservatives. They don't know how to make art. They don't know how to make a movie, as demonstrated by Reagan. They don't know how to make a documentary, as demonstrated by this. I don't know what the message was to this movie. I guess that racism is no big deal, which it's really not a big deal. But it can be in certain cases, in certain situations. And so that's another thing, is this documentary was very one-sided. And it just didn't feel like a healthy discussion of, like, the real issues and, like, what is the truth and what isn't. It just... I was really disappointed by this documentary because so many people bigged this movie up and they said it was really funny and it was great and it was fantastic. But honestly, this is probably one of the worst documentaries I've ever seen. So I would give this documentary an F. So, please like this video, comment, and subscribe. Goodbye, everybody. See you soon.